People, welcome back to Politricks Watch. This is Sir P. Now, I have a strong feeling this one is going to go down in history. Today, I'm going to break down, right, and really open up the books and show you the structure of the Klansman organization, right, a gang you have heard me spoke about many times. Now, in order for me to do this, I'm going to use a template that already exists, and that template belongs to Cosa Nostra. Now, of course, obviously Simple Simon, Klansman was no Cosa Nostra. They were nowhere near as organized. They were much more gung-ho and compulsive, right? And by that I mean, obviously, they would just take somebody's life just cause, right, for very simple reasons and bring down a whole heap of heat on themselves, right? That was completely unnecessary. But one thing they do have in common is that they both push the narrative that, oh, people should never ever talk to the police, and nobody talk to the police, them all get this and them all get that, only for when time enough for them drop a jail, right? And them get catch or commit murders, them end up start to turn and give the police information. You don't believe me? Ask Sammy the Bull, who by the way would be an ordinary soldier and a Klansman, right? Like, it just shows you how acidic Jamaica is and how dangerous the Klansman gang is. That, in my opinion, if Sammy the Bull was a part of Klansman, he would just be another 87 in a sea full of dangerous 87, because when you listen to how America and the world talk about Sammy the Bull, right, them catch him on, well, he confessed to 19 murders, and people are like, 19 murders? Yo, this you, Sammy the Bull is like this almighty gunslinger. Like, in Jamaica, in Klansman, right, 18-year-old youth like Scott Thomas have double that amount of bodies on them. Scott Thomas was 18 years old. And that's before we talk about the James Hines and the Hodges and the bigger crimes than him, man. So that just goes to show you how acidic Jamaica is and how we really have these youths coming around on the conveyor belt of death. Right, now look at the screen right now, people. This is the traditional layout of Cosa Nostra. At the top you can see the boss. Beside of him you can see the consigliere. Then you see the underboss, you see the capos, you see the soldiers, and you see the associates. I'm going to use this template and I'm going to show you how Klansman was structured. To take it one step further, I'm going to show you how Klansman was structured under Tesha, and I'm also going to show you how it was structured under Blackman after the split occurred. People, as me say, this one is going down in history. And me know enough of the man them are still alive, and I go see them name on this list or hear them name for the first time, I forgot to make a quick trip to the toilet, right? So let's start off with the Tesha Miller side of Klansman. Now, in order for this thing to look presentable, right, and not just a bunch of jumbled up names on a screen, obviously I can't use everybody's name, which would be impossible to fit on a screen anyway. But let me just say this, some people won't hear their names in this video, and I know enough man I go wipe set off of them forehead and think say, oh good, Sir P no know about me. Let me just say this, some of the people who are not mentioned in this video, it's because I have other plans for you, right? Now, let's start at the top. Remember, on the Cosa Nostra template, is the boss at the top, of course, Tesha Miller. Oh, and by the way, this is a specific time period in the clans, because enough of these names, they would have moved through the ranks or move over here, so move come up, move come back down. This is a specific time period. Tesha Miller, the boss. Now to the right of Tesha Miller, you see a name, Richie. That right there, the name Richie, that belongs to Tesha Miller's uncle. So using the mob structure, Richie is the consigliere. Right? For those of you who don't know, consigliere is the Italian word for counselor. Right? Richie is a true consigliere in every sense of the word. Richie helped put Tesha Miller at the top. After Bulby died, and of course there was lots of decisions or questions of who will be the next man, Richie played a key role in helping Tesha Miller become the Don. Right? Richie is very, very powerful in clans. One of the few people, right, who actually can tell Tesha Miller, say, listen, I don't think you should do that, pull back from that, don't give that person this, but of course Tesha can do him feel like. But Richie is the consigliere. This is the first time most people would have heard about Richie. Enough people in our clans, even 87s, with how much dope is upon them name, they've never met Richie in their entire life. As a matter of fact, 98% of the people you will hear me mention in this video have never met Richie in their life. Half of them don't even know him exists. We're talking about high level clans, right? Now, there are other clansmen who live off foreign, right? Play the role of the sponsor, right? Sell weed, send money, come get Tesha Miller, send money for the system. We'll talk about them another time. But let's look at the underboss, Andre Blackman Bryan. I don't think he needs any introduction, right? Then you have the capos. James Hines, you'd have seen my video on him. If you haven't, go check it out. Nevada Hodges, right? You had Bud From. Remember that name? Bud From. Just keep that one in your head. Speedy, you'd have seen my video about Speedy. I know him up, right? Budders, you'd have heard me talk about Budders. My name is Uzi and wait him up till him tribe drop out. J Bud, right? aka JJ Nakis, right? Again, you would have seen my video on J Bud. If you haven't, go check it out, right? Ratos, Kratos. Yes, the same Ratos Kratos and end up sink Tesha Miller in the end. Beside him, you have Roderick, of course, needs no introduction. Beside him, you have Carvel. You've never heard me talk about Carvel before, right? He used to run out of Rivoli side. He was also a very dangerous 87s, right? Give one other man them a whole heap of problem. Whole heap of problem. The way how him drop out was one of those scenes from out of Hollywood or something like that, right? But this is just a brief look at some of the capos that were under Tesha's command. And let me just say this. One of the reasons why Blackman could take over as easily as he did, or at least break up clans as easily as he did, is because this core group of Apex capos, majority of them did already drop out. And they would have been the ones who would have been taking on Blackman, right? But because them did gone, Blackman no one for him to the soldier them, right? And the man them where Tesha never fight for him, right? Even though of course they were killers, but the J Bad and the James Hines, if them man they still alive and decided them to go war Blackman, the whole Spanish Town War between the two man them would have been 10 times worse. If James Hines was alive and did a hunt Blackman and did a hunt Blackman soldiers, we don't know where that happened to Spanish Town and St. Catherine. So all of these men had their own teams, and then when time them go up on any kind of ops, or that team there go, so it would be James Hines teams, or it would be Bad From team, or it would be J Bad team, right? But there was also people who played a more Lone Ranger role. For example, there was another Apex 87, right? A youth called Brocky. Ratos Kratos mentioned him on the trial. Now Brocky belongs in the same group as the Hodges and the Bad Frams and the Budders and the man in terms of being an Apex 87, but he was more of a Lone Ranger who will just appear, go up on certain ops, and then disappear again, right? As you can see, below the capos, you have what the Costa Nostra call the soldiers. Well, of course, as you know, on this system, we call them 87s. By the way, the James Hines and them man, they're 87s as well, but they're premium 87s, right? So, I'm not even going to try mention the names of the 87s. There's simply too many to list, right? You would have heard me talk about enough of them, right? Now, below that, you see the Kerosenes, right? On the Cosa Nostra list, these people are called associates, right? Now, the associates for Klansman them made up of people like, of course, you know, the Kerosenes who would set up man and call him and tell him, say, come meet around and so the man go around the Speedy or wait for him, right? Or she would call and tell him and say, may I come link you, and every time the man open him door, when him look, Ratos Kratos as I come through the door, right? You also have, of course, your crooked cops. They are associates of Klansman. No, they might not be literally pulling the trigger, right? But they'll be feeding back certain information to them. So, them time there, when somebody go to the police and say, listen, officer, Mr. Bad From do this, as soon as them walk out of the station, enough crooked cops used to call the police them, right? Call the Klansman them and tell them, say, you know, say, so and so just come in the station, come tell me, say, are you shoot the man, or are you do this, or you like the gun, and then Bad From now that go back or kill that person, right? Or them that you say, them have a new witness who might end up get one of the man them sink, right? The police them, the crooked cops them, will then link Klansman, tell them who, and of course, Scott Thomas, the youth I tell you about, the witness killer, he may go finish them off, right? He also had people like the Bus Park spies. The Spanish Town Bus Park, understand this, the majority of the people who operate in and around that bus park were agents of Klansman. Even people who look completely innocent. You had vendors who were part of Klansman. They were not busting no gun, right? Them not holding nobody, they not shooting nobody, but they provided key pieces of information. So for example, they want somebody, so what them do? Klansman them say, listen, when him coming at the bus park, just tell you as in come out of the taxi, tell me. So when the person come out of the taxi, them send the message, and tell the man them, alright, you can't come now because the police not there. Have you ever wondered how people carry out hits in a bus park so open? Like the bus park is completely open. I think so nothing can go on there. So the reason why it can't go down and nobody not get catch is because the people in the bus park, not for the same taxi man and people them who are sell, they're giving information to the Klansman shooters in, right? So they are associates of clans, right? So that right there is Tesha Miller's side. Let's move over to the Blackman side. Now, as you should be aware by now, right, and if you haven't, you need to go back and check the back catalogue of videos. Tesha hand over things to Blackman, right, and then Blackman decides to now hand it back over, right. One do him one thing, one be his one done. So this right here is Blackman's right structure of Blackman version of clans, right. Now, of course, in this scenario, Blackman is the boss. Now, look to the right of Blackman. Look at his consigliere. You see the name Muma. Now, I told you this one is going down in history. Muma, you might be thinking, then what kind of man named Muma? Well, Muma isn't a man. Yes, a female consigliere. Her real name was Stephanie. Now, I know you wasn't expecting to hear that. Muma is the one that helps to keep the machine going. She oversees the money. She makes sure that certain things reach Blackman or reach back down to the 87s, right? So in that sense, and again, remember, just like Richie, the consigliere or the counselor has to be the person who the boss go directly to, or go directly to the boss, and can even go as far as to advise him and tell him to stop. Don't do that. Move back over there, so right. So that was her role, a female. And no, she wasn't Blackman's girlfriend either. Even in her clans, enough people never realized how powerful she was until the police them running, but don't worry, we're gonna get down into that. Now, let me just say this. Blackman had less experience being the boss because, of course, Tesha did I run the thing, right? And after Bulby died, and there was like, there was like a moment where people are wonder who go take over, right? People are gonna say, alright, Dave Clans are gonna take over, or people are say, alright, maybe a Fabulous to come take over. Different name did I call. When the dust gets settled, and then it was Tesha who became the Don, right? From then until the prison go do the big sentence, Tesha was the man that run the thing, right? So he had lots of experience being the Don. When Blackman decided to take over the thing, he wasn't as, how would I say, he wasn't as experienced in the thing. So Blackman unusually had a lot of advisors around him compared to Tesha, right? Blackman was more indecisive as a leader. So even though Muma was the official consigliere, Blackman had a team of advisors around him, people who he used to constantly go to them to try to get advice, or if something go down, he would literally defer and send somebody to them, right, because him can't bother, right, and him say, you know what, let's go to that person there, make him tell you this and him make him tell you that. So obviously, Muma, the consigliere, she was one of them, right, but the problem is, she was very, very trigger happy. She quick to cast down death on enough people, right? So enough of the man them used to prefer to go to a couple other youths. For example, there was Kevon, who was Blackman's brother, right? There was another hombre named Richie, right? Enough people would try to go to him to make them talk to Blackman. There was another hombre called Brains, right? So again, these were the people who, if for example, the message come down, say if it did, and you try beg for your life, people that try go through Brains, or them that try go through Kevon or go to Richie and make them try talk down Blackman, right? So those were his team of advisors. Now in the role of underboss, we have City Post, right? This brother, they both from Wapi, kill Philo. City Puss, right, kill off enough of the man them in a clan's father, right? And this is the kind of organization Klansman was. City Puss did wipe out enough of the man them father, and them end up after work side of City Post and can't do nothing. Even them know for a fact say him did kill him father 5-10 years ago. Right? And City Post had another nickname. That nickname was Lucifer. Now again, I tell you about these nicknames, you can imagine the type of person you are to be in an organization like Klansman and people decide that your name should be Lucifer. That should tell you all you need to know, right, about this individual. Now, City Post is one of them man there where, as me say, any sell him in Jamaica need him to stay in there, right? Now, under the underboss, you have Blackman's capos now. Here they name them. Now, you would have heard enough of these names before. Some of them should stand out. Arguably, Blackman's top killer was the youth named Sus. Of course, PIA, no name Sus, right? Sci-Fi, right? Sci-Fi was one of the people who play a key role, right? Anyway, don't worry about Sci-Fi. Don't you worry about Sci-Fi. Let's leave that name right there for now, right? Toulouse, Frenchie, Bingy, right? PIA, I'm supposed to remember the name there as well. Mario, Doc, Laristan people, Chadiga Park people, Doc. Let's leave that one right there for now. Haggis, Smokey, right? We know the three brother them. Smokey, Hezzy, Muta, right? Smokey and Hezzy that jail, Muta that road. Termite, you'd have heard me talk about Termite. Him and Too Bad, and them they go for brothers, right? Shout out him tribe with a Uzi. So these are the capos, or some of the capos. There's a whole heap of other them, obviously, as I say, all of them can't fit on the screen. But remember, at some point, enough of them man used to also be on a Tesha rule, right? But when the thing split, these were the people them who did split and go over the Blackman side. So when the war did go on, it was literally friend a kill friend, brother a kill brother, cousin a kill cousin, right? That's how ugly this war was between Tesha Miller and Blackman. Now you have other people, right, who are on the screen, for example, like Barber and them Monday, right? But of course, as I say, everybody can hold. Now, these men had their teams of 87s, and at this point it becomes just like how Tesha Miller one look. You have the Kerosenes, the Crooked Cops, the Bus Park Spies, etc., etc. Right? So from this point downwards, it's the same thing like the Tesha Miller setup. And a matter of fact, some of the same people them who did do the work for Tesha, for example, the Bus Park Spies them, right? Enough of them same people that end up after start work for Blackman, right? So people, I want to understand something. If you don't take away anything from this video, take away this. There are other people who they're not mentioned for one reason or another, right? So if you not listen to this, nobody get too comfortable, right? But focus on the two name them. Focus especially on the conciliaries. For Tesha Miller, it's Richie. For Blackman, it's Muma, right? As I said, I know the one that will catch enough people have got. But Jamaica need to know this. Right now, as it stands, Tesha Miller is in a stronger position than Blackman because the police did an extraordinary job in capturing the majority of Blackman's network. Now for the soldier them were left back a road for Blackman, few and far between. Matter of fact, Blackman don't even have that many guns, right? Police take enough of them, right? And his key people, especially when you talk about from him, obviously himself in that jail, City Post that jail, the police them even hold on for Muma. Yes, Muma is behind bars. People, remember, you know, even Blackman mother, police hold on upon, you know, because she was also playing a role in the organization. Police hold on upon the majority of the organization, right? Blackman brother's girl did get bail, right? But the majority of them, they're behind bars. You see that trial will come up with the 50 people them, right? Over 50 people. Just call it a Blackman soldier them there, right? If Blackman was to come to jail, if Blackman was to go on the road tomorrow morning, he would not be able for us to go up on the road and run things, because as me say, the majority of his organization would have been left behind in bars. However, if Tesha come on road, he could just pick up where him left off. That's the difference. That's the key difference, because Tesha's conciliary and not for Tesha's soldier them, even top soldiers still that road, right? Because enough people don't even know what happened to them. Some of them people don't know they are foreign, people don't know they're dead, people don't know they are jail. But Blackman, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, have a better outlook on Blackman's team. Them round up virtually, right? As me say, obviously not every single person, but virtually, them get all of the key players in, right? So Blackman organization cannot function as it wants. It simply cannot. They have to lose the case, and then when they come back on road, right? Police scrape up. Listen, people as me say, even Blackman mother gone, Blackman brother Kevin gone, right? Police hold on by everybody. This is why I say that trial is so important, because if that side of clans come back on road, Spanish Town, St. Catherine, Jamaica, when you think when you see crime rate yet, where you think they might come back on road, go look at work, you think they're going to come back and go down a McDonald's, go hand in them resume? No. But Tesha is definitely in a stronger position. So you see the appeal, what Tesha Miller do? You see if Tesha Miller bust that appeal, understand something, it's going to go right back to how things were. Right, even though him lose whole heap of top soldiers, a lot. Matter of fact, his prized soldiers are gone, right? But the infrastructure is still in place, for him can come back and just carry on when they do. Blackman, not so much, right? Police did a real good job sinking Blackman style of clans. However, they're still not convicted. They still need to go in a court of law, right? And evidence have to go produce, and then the jury have to go decide, say yes, these people according to the law and the requirements or the standard the law said, yes, them deserve to go to prison. Remember, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court. You still need people to turn up and present evidence, otherwise the man them go walk. But as I've said many times before, it is now in the hands of the justice system. It's now up to the DPP, Paula Llewellyn. If she can get this case, if she can sink even Blackman side of clans, right, then she will go down as the greatest DPP we've ever had, right? And if she can keep Tesha in a jail, because Tesha, I go file an appeal. If she can sink Blackman side and keep Tesha in a jail, listen, the justice system would be getting a huge trophy. A huge gold medal. It's like how you see him used to broke records and then stand up on the podium with him hands outstretched and the national anthem a play. And one of them there, Paula Llewellyn and the DPP and the justice system would get, if them can manage to hold on upon the man them, the leadership structure of clans, both of them, because two man them in a jail, right? And then after that, we need the police to deal with the man them. We're deep on the road. Right, because remember, Klansman still are road, Klansman still are the things, right? When you see what happened to the youth Rusty, right? And you see that they're still as brutal as ever, right? So people, as me say, this one, I think it's going to go down in history. A comprehensive look at the structure of the Klansman organization. And as for the people them who know say them should have depend this, and not depend this, we don't know if I'm not going to reach out to me still. Because from the same mama, go up on the list. From when you see Richie go up on the list, then when you know, say me know. So I expect to be talking to some of you very soon. Anyway, Patreon squad, big up on yourself. PIA, you don't know, more life. Bless.